Class 10, can you imagine metals are going for swimming championship? Yes. The excited metals are super excited and they are going to deep dive into the water. Whereas there are some careful swimmers, which are our moderately reactive metals. And on the other hand, we have the least reactive metals, which absolutely doesn't like to swim. But somehow we are making them a part of championship. So yes, class 10, today we are going to learn about reaction of metals with water. So yes, metals can react with water, and water exists in three physical states like the cold water, hot water, and the steam, which is a gaseous form of water. So when metals react with water, that means the hot water or it can be cold water, they always form metal hydroxide, and along with that hydrogen gases evolve. Whereas when metal react with steam, that means almost the heat energy is very high, then instead of forming hydroxide, they start forming metal oxide, and which gas is evolved? Hydrogen gas is evolved here as well. So the strength of the reaction talks about the reactivity of metals. When the metals react with water, the strength of their reaction, where how fast the reaction is, how violent reaction is, or the reaction is super slow, basically tells us where the metal stands in the reactivity scale. So highly reactive metals can easily react with cold water, whereas moderately reactive metals can react slowly with hot water or steam. Sometimes they require a higher push, so they are not going to react even with the hot water, but they can react with steam. And least reactive metals are so strong-headed, they are so stubborn that they do not even react with steam. They cannot react with hot or cold का तो कोई मतलब ही नहीं बनता, but definitely they cannot react with steam. So here we are going to learn reaction of metals. We are going to check one by one each metal, how they are reacting and what kind of a reaction does it show. So we'll start with the potassium metal, children. Potassium metal reacts violently. बहुत सारा effervescence produce हो रहा है, lot of bubbling is produced. So this shows that this reaction is highly exothermic. So potassium metal being very reactive, it can react even in the cold water, thus producing lot of amount of heat. So which suggests that this kind of reaction is highly exothermic reaction, and the heat produced during the reaction is enough for the hydrogen gas to catch fire, and this reaction sometimes cause little explosions also. So we need to cautiously handle this metal. This is a super excited swimmer. तो आप इसको समझो, he is ready and superly enthusiastic to deep dive into the swimming pool where it is going to get the cold water, and even being very reactive, and even reacting with cold water, it produces hydrogen gas. Right, children? So this reaction is highly exothermic reaction, which states that, which tells us that potassium is so very reactive. Right? Now let's talk about sodium. Sodium भी potassium से कम नहीं है. It is nonetheless lesser than the potassium. So sodium even reacts with vigorously with the cold water itself, thus for the producing heat. And the heat produces enough to put the hydrogen gas on fire, because we know that hydrogen gas is highly inflammable. It catches fire super easily and it burns, thus causes the little explosions. So yes, the little amount of heat produced when potassium reacts with water is little more than the amount of heat produced when sodium reacts with cold water, right? But both are sufficient to put the hydrogen on fire, thus causing little explosion. So this suggests that potassium is more reactive than sodium. तो आप समझ पा रहे हैं कि जो रिएक्शन का वाइकर है, the amount of heat it is producing, the lot of effervescence of hydrogen it is producing is sufficient to tell us that how reactive the metal is. So superly reactive metal is potassium, whereas sodium is little less reactive, but yes, it is also producing lot of amount of heat, thus to cause the little explosion. Now moving ahead, children, towards the next metal, that is calcium. Calcium reacts with cold water. It can also react with cold water, but here less amount of heat is produced. The amount of heat which is produced during this reaction is not enough to burn the hydrogen gas. Yes, the heat is produced, but the heat is not sufficient to put the hydrogen gas on fire. Rather, what happens, since it is reacting it with cold water, so the vigor of the reaction is high, but not as high as it was in case of sodium and potassium. So what happens? The piece of calcium metal start floating in water, right? It goes and sticks to the hydrogen gas bubbles which are forming. Here you can see in this picture, this is when we are putting a calcium metal into the cold water. The calcium metal starts floating into the water. Why? Because the bubbles of hydrogen gas so formed in the reaction get sticks to the surface and does not let move out, because there is not enough amount of heat to dissipate the hydrogen molecule formed here. So this reaction is also telling you about the reactivity of the calcium, which suggests that calcium is lesser reactive than potassium and sodium in the reactivity series. Now moving ahead towards the magnesium here children. अगर हम magnesium की बात करते हैं, magnesium is not able to react with the cold water. This shows that it is little less reactive. Right? Does it show? It shows that it is little less reactive. So it is going to react with the hot water. Right? So when it is forming with when it is reacting with the hot water, what does it form? It forms the corresponding hydroxide. And what is it form? What is it forming? It is also evolving hydrogen gas. So magnesium किसके साथ react कर रहा है? Hot water के साथ react कर रहा है और magnesium hydroxide produce कर रहा है. And we know that magnesium hydroxide is partially or sparingly soluble in water. Right? It does not completely react with water. But whereas if you react magnesium with steam, instead of forming hydroxide, it start forming magnesium oxide, which is a white color powder. And along with that, what will it form? It will also evolve hydrogen gas. तो हम समझ पा रहे हैं कि जैसे ही हम वाटर में इंटेंसिटी ऑफ हीट इंक्रीज कर रहे हैं, मीन्स हम हॉट वाटर से स्टीम की तरफ जा रहे हैं, तो वो हाइड्रोक्साइड फॉर्म करने की बजाय वो क्या फॉर्म करना शुरू कर देगा? मैग्नीशियम ऑक्साइड पाउडर, विच इज व्हाइट इन कलर. Right? And in both the cases, the common gas is being evolved, और उस गैस को हम क्या बोलते हैं? हाइड्रोजन गैस. And what is the test for it? It burns the candle with pop-up sound, right? And this does not produce any sufficient heat, right? Which we need to be careful about. So aluminium also reacts with steam. So this is telling us that these metals are little moderately reactive, right? They are not ready. They are not eager to react with water. Rather, water has to push themselves to push these metals to react with itself and thus form the corresponding compound. So here aluminium reacts with steam to form aluminium oxide and hydrogen gas is evolved. अब इसमें हो क्या रहा है? आप इसको steam के साथ क्यों react करते हो? Why aluminium does not react with cold water or hot water? There is a specific reason, children. Why? Because I've told you in the last video of my metals and non-metals, part 1, I have told you that oxidation of aluminium is a friend to aluminium because it starts forming a protective layer over its surface, and that layer is of aluminium oxide. Right. So that layer, that is a very thin layer of aluminium oxide, which is formed over the surface. Being thin, instead of being thin, the layer is so tough that it does not let the cold or hot water to react with the inner layer of aluminium. So who can do this job only? Steam can. Hey, steam can only react with aluminium, right? Because it can only remove that tougher layer first and then reacting with aluminium metal, which is underneath that tough, thin but tougher layer. Right, children? So it is not easy to react aluminium. So what does it suggest you about the reactivity of aluminium? Aluminium is moderately reactive metal. Now moving ahead, towards the next metal, that is zinc. Now, zinc reacts with steam, right? Zinc is also reacting with steam, thus forming zinc oxide and hydrogen gas is evolved. So, steam के साथ जब भी reaction होगा हमेशा क्या बनेगा? Corresponding oxide बनेगा. Here we are taking red hot iron. तो आप iron, even metal is not taken at room temperature to react. So, metal is also taken in red hot form, right? And we are reacting the red hot iron with steam. So this is showing the stubbornness of iron. It is not readily reacting with the water. So you have to make it hot, red hot, as well as you need to take water in the form of steam. So lot of amount of heat energy is required. So this shows that iron is not at all interested, but still upon push it is able to react with the steam form of water, thus forming a compound which is known as ferroferric oxide, and that is also known as iron 2 or iron 3 oxide. And gas तो हमेशा same evolve होने वाला है, that is hydrogen gas. So these reaction has basically shown us द रिएक्टिविटी ऑफ द मेटल्स. तो अगर हम स्टीम के साथ रिएक्ट कर रहे हैं, सो मैग्नीशियम देन एल्यूमिनियम देन जिंक एंड देन आयरन एंड सम मेटल्स लाइक लेड कॉपर सिल्वर गोल्ड, ये तो स्टीम के साथ भी रिएक्ट नहीं करते. दे डू नॉट इवन रिएक्ट विद वाटर. कोल्ड वाटर तो मतलब ही नहीं है. बट इवन इफ वी आर रिएक्टिंग इट विद स्टीम, they are not able to react with the steam as well, right children? So this shows that these metals are least reactors, right? These reactions basically telling us that the metals, some metals are highly reactive, some metals are moderately reactive, whereas some metals are least reactive, right? With this, we have finished all the reactions which are there in our syllabus for reaction of metals with the water. Different forms of water, hot water, cold water, or steam. Children, we are going to begin with the reaction of metals with dilute acids. सबसे पहले हमें ये समझना है कि कोई भी मेटल कभी भी कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड एसिड के साथ रिएक्ट नहीं कर सकता, राइट? बिकॉज दे प्रोड्यूस लॉट ऑफ हीट एनर्जी विच कैन कॉज बिग एक्सप्लोजन्स. So whenever we are doing any reaction or chemical combination with acids, we always take the acids in their dilute form. Right, children? So metals usually displace hydrogen from dilute acids. अब सारे metals कर दे ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है. Some metals are able to displace the hydrogen from the dilute acid, whereas some metals do not. So these reactions will also define the reactivity of the metals, right? So sodium metal react vigorously and it produces lot of amount of hydrogen bubbles, which says that it is reacting violently because it starts producing sounds of producing effervescence, right? That fizz sound comes. Sometimes you open the lid of your cold drinks or cans, so that fizziness comes and the sound also comes. That kind of a sound and even the violent than that. So whenever, अब इसको समझने के लिए आप समझेंगे, हम इसको बहुत इजीली एक बेसिक फंडामेंटल से समझ सकते हैं. जब भी कोई केमिकल रिएक्शन होता है, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल द आयनाइजेशन हैपेंस ड्यू टू व्हिच द ओल्ड बॉन्ड्स ब्रेक, right? So when sodium will ionize, it will start forming sodium ions, and hydrogen ions are formed and chloride ions are formed. So rearrangement will take place and it will start forming a salt which is known as sodium chloride, and this is also known as ionic chloride. आयनिक क्लोराइड आपको आगे चल के समझ आएगा कि मैं क्यों बोल रही हूँ, बिकॉज आयनिक क्लोराइड आर formed with the help of ionic bonding, and ionic bonding is formed when the give and take of electrons takes place, and along with that what are left, hydrogen ions are left, and hydrogen ions always collectively form hydrogen gas. जिन भी बच्चों को आयनाइजेशन में प्रॉब्लम है वो चैप्टर 1 की मेरी वीडियो में जाके समझ सकते हैं. वहां मैंने बहुत अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन किया हुआ है और डिटेल में किया हुआ है. So when you're talking about magnesium and hydrochloric acid. So again, what is going to happen, children? Magnesium is reacting quite rapidly, but it is not reacting as violently as sodium metal was doing. So magnesium metal here, it will ionize first, and then it is going to split into ions, that is H plus Cl minus. Thus it will form what? Magnesium chloride. It is also an ionic chloride, and ionic chloride के लिए भी आप समझ सकते हैं, ionic compounds वो compounds होते हैं which are formed of metals and non metals, जो किसके बने होते हैं? Metals के और non metals के बने होते हैं. Right, so here also magnesium is a metal, whereas chlorine is a नॉन मेटल. तो आप इसको बता सकते हो कि एक आयनिक क्लोराइड है. अगर आपको ज्यादा नहीं भी पता, इतने से बेसिक से भी अभी समझ सकते हैं, बट नेक्स्ट क्लास में जब मैं आपको बॉन्डिंग करवाऊंगी तब आपको बहुत अच्छे से समझ में आ जाएगा कि आयनिक बॉन्डिंग और आयनिक कंपाउंड्स क्या होते हैं और कोवेलेंट कंपाउंड्स क्या होते हैं. सो हियर हाइड्रोजन गैस इज ऑल्सो इवॉल्व बिकॉज लॉट ऑफ हाइड्रोजन आयन्स आर देयर. So, but the reaction is taking place rapidly. The speed of the reaction is good, but it is not taking place as violently as it was taking in case of sodium, right? So some metals are able to displace that hydrogen from the dilute acids, but some metals are not. But here we have learned about two examples, that is sodium and magnesium. And in both the cases, the metal successfully displaced the hydrogen from its corresponding chloride, right? So corresponding acid. So here we can say that the two metals are even more reactive than hydrogen. Now let's talk about aluminium, zinc, and iron. If you look at aluminium, it reacts first very slowly. You know the reason. क्योंकि एल्यूमिनियम के ऊपर अपना एक लेयर होता है, डाइल्यूट एसिड से जो हीट प्रोड्यूस होती है वो लेयर एल्यूमिनियम ऑक्साइड का रिमूव करती है, और फिर जो फ्रेश एल्यूमिनियम होता है नीचे वो रिएक्ट करना स्टार्ट करता है. सो अगेन द आयनाइजेशन will takes place. First ionization, then only the new compound will form, right? And it will form H plus Cl minus. So it is going to form AlCl3, and hydrogen ions are going to evolve hydrogen gas. Similarly, zinc will dissociate into ions Zn2 plus, forming H plus and Cl minus. Crossover of valency Zn2 plus and Cl minus form zinc chloride, and hydrogen ions are going to evolve hydrogen gas. Iron is reacting slowly with cold dilute hydrochloric acid. अब आयरन स्लो रिएक्ट कर रहा है, जिंक भी रिएक्ट कर रहा है. पहले एल्यूमिनियम को टाइम लग रहा है क्योंकि उसको एल्यूमिनियम ऑक्साइड का लेयर रिमूव करना है, एंड देन इट विल फर्दर मूव. अब आयरन के केस में क्या हो रहा है? इट इज रिएक्टिंग स्लोली, but here iron is reacting with cold dilute hydrochloric acid. So आपको एसिड को भी कोल्ड करना पड़ रहा है, right? Then only it is going to react. So this shows that iron is even less reactive than aluminium and zinc. Right, children? Now moving ahead into the other example, copper तो react ही नहीं कर रहा. Even you're taking it colder, copper is not showing any reaction. So how does we come to know? If you look at all the reactions that we have discussed here, in all the reaction, hydrogen gas is evolved. So we here in these reactions, we are looking at the intensity of the bubbles formed during the reaction. So bubbles are forming due to the evolution of hydrogen gas. So in case of magnesium, lot of bubbles are formed. In case of aluminium, fewer bubbles are formed. And in case of zinc, even fewer bubbles are formed. And in case of copper, no bubbles are formed. When no bubbles are formed, that means no hydrogen gas has evolved. Hydrogen gas was not evolved at all, right? So what does it suggest? It suggests that copper is showing no reaction with dilute hydrochloric acid. And what is it telling you? That copper is even lesser reactive than hydrogen here. Hydrogen is the only non-metal that also forms the cation. अगर आपको अपना 9th क्लास अच्छे से पता है तो हाइड्रोजन can form cation and hydrogen can also form anion. So hydrogen is forming cation. अब एक cation को अगर दूसरे cation को रिमूव करना है तो उसके लिए उसको उससे ज्यादा रिएक्टिव होना पड़ेगा और ज्यादा पावरफुल होना पड़ेगा. बट कॉपर के केस में देखा गया कि कोई भी हाइड्रोजन गैस प्रोड्यूस नहीं कर हो रही. सो व्हाट इज इट सजेस्टिंग अबाउट कॉपर? दैट कॉपर इज लेसर रिएक्टिव देन हाइड्रोजन आयन. सो इट इज नॉट गोइंग टू डिस्प्लेस इट. तो जब वो उसको डिस्प्लेस ही नहीं कर सकता, कोई ओल्ड बॉन्ड ब्रेक ही नहीं नहीं हो रहा, so will any reaction takes place? No, not at all. No reaction will take place in case of copper. Now metals displace hydrogen from acids also. अगर मेटल एसिड में से हाइड्रोजन डिस्प्लेस कर रहा है, दैट मीन्स वो मेटल हाइड्रोजन से ज्यादा रिएक्टिव है, सिंस इट इज गिविंग एन इंडिकेशन बाय प्रोड्यूसिंग हाइड्रोजन गैस. बट अगर वो मेटल हाइड्रोजन गैस प्रोड्यूस ही नहीं कर रहा, दैट मीन्स दैट मेटल इज लेसर रिएक्टिव देन हाइड्रोजन. Thus we can say that in this case lesser reactive than hydrogen. So clearly we have been studying so far. We have learned about the reaction of metals with oxygen. Then we have learned about the reaction of metals with water in all three forms, hot, cold, and steam. And now we have also learned about the reaction of metals with dilute hydrochloric acid. So these reactions are nothing but the evidences, children. ये reaction proves हैं जो हमें देते हैं that certain metals are more reactive, certain metals are moderately reactive, and certain metals are least reactive. Now we are going to talk about a special dilute acid, that is nitric acid. Like your hydrochloric acid behave, likewise your sulfuric acid behave, but nitric acid has a different genre altogether. It does not behave as an as hydrochloric acid or your sulfuric acid. Now we'll understand the reason why. Because nitric acid is a strong oxidizing agent. अब ये क्या करता है? ऑक्सीडाइजिंग एजेंट कौन होता है? जो ऑक्सीजन प्रोवाइडर होता है, राइट? और ये फटाफट से रिड्यूस हो जाता है. तो अब इसके केस में क्या होता है? जब भी नाइट्रिक एसिड किसी भी मेटल के साथ रिएक्ट कर रहा है, तो कोई हाइड्रोजन गैस रिलीज ही नहीं हो रही है. अब हम समझेंगे कि कोई भी हाइड्रोजन गैस रिलीज क्यों नहीं होती, क्योंकि ये एक ऑक्सीडाइजिंग एजेंट है, ये साथ साथ ऑक्सीजन प्रोवाइड करता है. तो जो हाइड्रोजन गैस फॉर्म भी होती है वो ऑक्सीजन उसको मिल जाती है, एंड इट स्टार्ट्स फॉर्मिंग द वाटर. तो हाइड्रोजन गैस इवॉल्व हुई? हाइड्रोजन गैस इवॉल्व ही नहीं हुई. सो नो मेटल कैन रिएक्ट विद डाइल्यूट नाइट्रिक एसिड. Here children, nitric acid reduced. अब जो वाटर फॉर्म हो रहा है, हाइड्रोजन आयंस मिल रहे हैं, तो नाइट्रोजन नाइट्रिक एसिड विल itself get reduced, because वो ऑक्सीडाइजिंग एजेंट है, तो वो खुद क्या हो जाएगा? ऑक्सीजन दे देगा और वो रिड्यूस हो जाएगा. नाइट्रिक एसिड इज HNO3. तो जब वो खुद ब्रेक होता है तो वो H प्लस NO3 माइनस में होता है, तो वो रिड्यूस होने लग रहा है क्योंकि वो ऑक्सीजन दे रहा है. So when it is giving oxygen, उसके पास खुद ऑक्सीजन कम हो जाएंगे, so it starts forming dinitrogen oxide, or it starts forming nitrogen dioxide. So thus the reaction which has to take place actually is not taking place, and no hydrogen gas is released. But do we also have any exception in this? क्या किसी केस में नाइट्रिक एसिड हाइड्रोजन गैस इवॉल्व कर सकता है? Yes, अगर हम उसकी ऑक्सीडाइजिंग स्ट्रेंथ को वीकर कर दें. अब उसको हम वीक कैसे करें? व्हेन वी कैन मेक इट डाइल्यूटेड. मैम ये तो ऑलरेडी डाइल्यूटेड है, तो आप और कैसे डाइल्यूट करने की बात कर रहे हो? आई एम सेइंग कि आप इसको और ज्यादा डाइल्यूट कर दो. यू कैन मेक इट इवन मोर डाइल्यूटेड बाय एडिंग मोर अमाउंट ऑफ वाटर. सो लेट अस अंडरस्टैंड द एक्सेप्शन which dilute nitric acid shows. Now, why is it showing that exception where we are saying that it is not going to react with any metal to produce the हाइड्रोजन गैस? बिकॉज ये खुद से रिड्यूस हो जाता है और बहुत सारे प्रोडक्ट्स बाय प्रोडक्ट्स फॉर्म होते हैं. तो हमने उसको बहुत ज्यादा डाइल्यूट कर दिया, जरूरत से ज्यादा डाइल्यूट कर दिया, और हमने उसको क्या बना दिया? वीक ऑक्सीडाइजिंग एजेंट. इट हैज बिकम टू वीक that it cannot convert हाइड्रोजन इनटू वाटर. अब हाइड्रोजन को वाटर में कन्वर्ट करने के लिए उसको अपना ऑक्सीजन देना पड़ेगा, बट उसका स्ट्रेंथ हमने इतना वीक कर दिया डाइल्यूट करके, दैट इट इज नॉट केपेबल ऑफ गिविंग ऑक्सीजन टू हाइड्रोजन and getting itself reduced and oxidizing hydrogen to form the water. So here hydrogen gas बबल्स आर सीन. जब हमने ऐसा करके देखा तो हमें पता चला कि यहाँ तो हाइड्रोजन गैस की एफोवेसेंस प्रोड्यूस हो रही है, बबल्स प्रोड्यूस हो रहे हैं. बट दिस इज ओनली पॉसिबल इन केस ऑफ टू मेटल्स, दैट इज मैग्नीशियम एंड मैग्नीज. ये किसके केस में पॉसिबल है? सिर्फ मैग्नीशियम और मैग्नीज के केस में. सो मैग्नीशियम के केस में जब हम बहुत ज्यादा डाइल्यूट ले रहे हैं नाइट्रिक एसिड, देन इट स्टार्ट्स फॉर्मिंग मैग्नीशियम नाइट्रेट। अब इसे भी समझो, जब मैग्नीशियम रिएक्शन तो वैसे ही है, बिकॉज जब मैग्नीशियम आयनाइज होगा तो Mg2+ की फॉर्म में होगा, बट नाइट्रिक एसिड जब आयनाइज होगा H+NO3-। पर नाइट्रिक एसिड की स्ट्रेंथ इज वेरी लो, ये बहुत वीक हो चुका है, इतना वीक है कि इसके पास एनर्जी नहीं है कि वो अपना ऑक्सीजन दे सके। सो here magnesium will react with nitrate and thus forming Mg2 plus NO3 minus, crossover of valency will takes place and thus it will form magnesium nitrate. अब hydrogen ions बचे हैं भाई, hydrogen ions are going to form what? They will definitely form hydrogen gas. Now manganese की बात करते हैं, manganese react with very dilute nitric acid. Again, so manganese भी क्या बनाएगा? Mn2+, it will dissociate into ions, and further similarly nitric acid here also dissociate into ions and forming H plus NO3 minus. So Mn2 plus and NO3 minus forming MnNO3 whole twice, that is manganese nitrate. And hydrogen ions are evolving what? Hydrogen ions are evolving hydrogen gas. Right, children? So with this, we have also understood the behavior of nitric acid, and we have clearly understood the two exceptions which it shows by reducing its strength, by making it very much diluted, and upon diluting it highly, it becomes a weak oxidizing agent. Now, children, let us move ahead and understand a new thing, that is aqua regia. ये क्या है? This is something which is most favorite of Goldsmith, right? Jewelers use it. It is a freshly prepared mixture of two acids. One is nitric acid and the other one is hydrochloric acid. And they are set in some proportion. Like we take 25% of nitric acid when we prepared aqua regia, and we take 75% of hydrochloric acid. So what it does, it suggest? This is that combination of two acids make a fuming liquid, a liquid which is high in heat energy, and it is highly corrosive also. It is so very corrosive that it can dissolve all the metals. It can also dissolve gold and platinum. अभी तक हम क्या पढ़ते आ रहे थे कि स्टीम नहीं कर पा रहा, डाइल्यूट एसिड्स नहीं कर पा रहे, सो वी नीड टू मेक समथिंग वेरी स्ट्रॉन्गर जो even least reactive metals को भी dissolve कर दे. So right, so here children, aqua regia is a mixture which is prominently used by goldsmith to clean the gold ornaments, right? हम कई बार क्या होता है, the layer has become dull, our gold ornaments become dull, so your parents must be giving it to the goldsmith to make it brighter, to make it to give it a newly formed finish. So how do they do so? They do it by dissolving it, by putting it and taking it out from aqua regia. They have to do it very quickly because it is highly corrosive and it is a fuming liquid. इतना corrosive हो जाता है क्योंकि आपने दो strong acids को मिला दिया. And nitric acid is super strong, you know, just have you learned, it is a strong oxidizing agent. So you just dip it and you take it out. So what is it going to do? It is going to take away all the dirt which gets deposited over it, and it is going to dissolve it also a little. So is it a good idea to go for aqua regia treatment for your gold ornaments? Absolutely not, because clearly it is telling you that it will dissolve even gold. तो जो थोड़ा सा लेयर होता है वो ऊपर से एक लेयर चला जाता है, so जो आपका गोल्ड का क्वांटिटी होता है वो भी रिड्यूस हो जाता है. So it is not a very good practice even if it is utterly required. तो इसको frequently नहीं करना चाहिए, and this is something which is even more powerful than any single acid because it has a strength of two acids, right? Which is hydrochloric acid and nitric acid, right, children? So now have the reactivity series that I have made you learn in chapter 1 itself. But in chapter 1, we could not understand ki why we are putting the potassium over top, and why we are putting gold in the in the series of least reactive metal. Now you have all got all the answers by learning those series of reactions. So here we have placed hydrogen, but ma'am, we are learning the reactivities of series of metal. What is hydrogen doing here? I told you just now, being a non-metal, it is the only non-metal that forms the cation as well. So the elements which are placed above the hydrogen can easily displace hydrogen from the corresponding dilute acids, but the elements which are placed below the hydrogen in the reactivity series cannot displace hydrogen from the dilute acids. तो हमें डाइल्यूट एसिड्स वाले रिएक्शन ने बताया था कि दैट सम मेटल्स आर मोर रिएक्टिव देन हाइड्रोजन एंड सम मेटल्स आर लेस रिएक्टिव देन हाइड्रोजन. तो आप देख लो हाइड्रोजन को अलग से हाईलाइट कर दिया है. सो बिकॉज हाइड्रोजन है तो नॉन मेटल, बट ये एक ऐसा नॉन मेटल है जो कैटायन भी फॉर्म कर सकता है. बट कैटायन यूजुअली फॉर्म कौन करता है? ओनली द मेटल्स. सो पोटेशियम, सोडियम, कैल्शियम, मैग्नीशियम, एल्यूमिनियम, जिंक, आयरन, टिन, लेड, hydrogen, copper, mercury, silver, gold. So if anyone wants to learn the mnemonics to make learning easy, then you may go and refer to the displacement video, which I have explained in chapter 1. Right, children? So here we have everything into the reactivity series. Now you can make your own reactivity series. Why to go for mnemonics? Why to go for mugging up? Because you have learned whole series of reaction. You know which one is showing the Weiger reaction, which one is more violent, which one is little dull, which one is reacting with little bit of push, and which one is so strong headed that it is not even to react with any form. So we count them under least reactive metals. Right, children. In my next class, I will be going to take up the last two types of reaction. That means the displacement reaction of one of the kinds, and we will be learning about the metal chlorides and metal hydrides. So till then, you may revise, practice it well, and reactivity series for the before you set up for my next class. Reactivity series is superly important to understand. तो मैं चाह रही हूँ कि बच्चे लर्न करने से पहले चीजों को बहुत अच्छे से समझें, प्रिपेयर करें और खुद से रिएक्टिविटी सीरीज प्रिपेयर करें. राइट, तो हमें किसी निमोनिक्स की नीड नहीं पड़ेगी, हमें मगिंग अप की नीड नहीं पड़ेगी, बिकॉज आई हैव गिवन यू ऑल द लॉजिक्स ड्यूरिंग माय क्लास which will help you to retain things for longer period of time. Thank you.